cold.
Will you say cunnilingus?
What?
Will you say that?
I don't know. Will I?
Let's start our fire. It's a trick.
Is that the technical term actually? Cunnilingus.
Start our fire.
Piece of wood you gotta smack.
That's licking the vagine.
Oh, my.
They see me rolling. They hating.
Josh, do you want to intro our guest?
Ladies and gentlemen of the YouTubes and the Spotifys and the Apple Audio Store, this is our newest employee. No. One of our newer employees, and soon to be one of the greatest archers to ever walk the earth, Mr. Michael Allman. Say hello, Michael.
Hey, guys.
Lean into that microphone.
Lean
too.
into
I'm
it.
leaning, dude.
Remember,
These people are gonna
the
wanna
hairs
listen to you.
must
You want me
tickle
to be
the
like
foam.
right here, dude?
Tickle the foam.
Tickle the foam, dude.
Don't be-
Don't be
leaning
shy.
in.
That little chin patch you got going.
I know
put
it
that
might
up.
feel intimidating, but really, honestly, it's not going to hurt nothing.
I'm leaning, dude.
Ooh.
All right, guys. This is Michael Allman, archery or bow technician wizard at Spokane Valley Archery, and Michael shoots his bow really well. And in the last couple months, I've shot my bow a lot, and is with probably as much as anyone shot with Michael.
Yeah, we've
Is-
shot a lot.
As you were ramping up to the biggest event of the year for indoor archery.
Hey, hard pause. You didn't crack nothing.
That's right.
Dadgum.
Got to pop.
Do I have to do it in front?
Dadgum.
Behind?
Michael, give him a little.
Little tap tap. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So you've just officially learned one of the first phrases you will hear Michael say a lot. Dadgum.
Dadgum.
I like that saying from Michael.
Michael is pure as the driven snow, just
Oh,
for clarification.
Yeah.
Like, I make him blush, and I revert myself to a much more gentle person when he's around,
Oh, yeah.
because I think I've hurt his feelers a time or two with my vulgarness.
Not quite.
How old are you? Michael, how old are you?
I'm 19. I'll be 20 in a couple months. 2 months. 3 months. I don't
Will that
know.
be before or after I take you down at the Buffalo Ranch?
That'll be right
adorable.
after I show you how to shoot, dude.
Guys, Michael shoots his bow really, really well. Where do we want to start?
I shoot a lot of arrows. I mean, that's
Well, I think we should start by how did you start in archery? Or where did that come from?
sure. Yeah, so let's see. When I was like 14, my mom made me get my hunter's education and my archery education. Like, I had no necessary interest into hunting or archery or anything. She ended up making me do it because she thought I'd enjoy it. It wasn't something that she ever did or my dad or anything. Like, my grandparents hunted 30, 40 years ago. But I ended up getting into it she ended up buying me a bow for my 14th birthday. And then from there, I just went to some local stuff and started shooting my bow and decided that I want to shoot a lot. And being homeschooled, I ended up having a good amount of time to be able to pursue that and shoot a lot. And it's just kind of spiraled from there into I worked at a different shop before here, and then now I'm working here, and that's all I've done for work for the last 2 years that I've been working. So,
What was your first couple of weeks like working here?
it was good. It was really positive.
Was there any culture shock or no?
I mean, it's faster paced environment than what I was used to before, but it's something I like, and there's definitely, I don't know if pressure is the right word, but it seems like there's more pressure working here just because, like at first, I guess I thought that, I had a reputation to hold up for working for Josh and these different guys. And Justin was able to, on our first day where I was kind of getting a feel for everything, Justin was able to, tell me what I was doing right, what I could improve in, what I could change, all that kind of thing, and set me straight from there. And then, just been loving my job. Everyone asks me, like, do you like your job? I'm like, I love it. It's awesome.
Do you feel like from a technician's perspective, have you learned a lot, or has your knowledge base changed much?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've learned a lot. I knew a lot of the basic things beforehand. Like I could get any bow shooting an arrow relatively straight. But I started taking stuff a little bit more seriously as far as what's as permanent as possibly can be. I made some changes in how I tie peep sights, how I tie D loops, like just simple things like that we just had less failure rates and that kind of thing. But other than that, I kind of had the basics down beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this competitive side of archery, at what point did that become an interest?
It was probably about a year into getting a bow. We have a local club here that
What's their name?
Coeur d'Alene Bowman.
Coeur d'Alene Bowman.
This was, so I was 20, it was, I don't even know what year that would have been, 2019 or 18. I ended up going to Coeur d'Alene Bowman. They had an indoor range where I started shooting there. And I'd been shooting for like a year at that point, or 9 months or something. And started meeting people. And I just shot my bow a lot. My mom would take me there as much as I, could get away without taking too much time. And right off the bat, I started shooting, 280s, 290s at 14 or 15 years old on a Vegas round. And I was told that was good. So I was like, cool, I'll just keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And what was the first like regional event you did well in?
I really haven't done a ton of target stuff as far as like with an actual target bow in my hands and actually, entering for something where I could win anything. I did a whole lot of 3D stuff around, had fun and, would win a knife or something every once in a while. But let's see, I guess it would have been, there was a shoot this would have been 2021. To the end of 2021, there's a shoot at the beginning of November in Moses Lake, and I ended up shooting, like I'd never been to an actual indoor shoot where I go pay my fees and get on the line and just try to shoot with all these guys shooting open bows, because the Coeur d'Alene Bowman is a lot of bow hunters.
Yeah.
So going to this, it was a buckle shoot. You had to shoot 3 different shoots to qualify, and you'd have your scores. There was a bracket every time. So they made like money shoots out of each one. And then at the end of it, on the third one, they had it where your scores totaled up, put you in a bracket, and then you shot off for a buckle. So I ended up shooting, let's see, the first shoot I shot with a Matthews V3X. I had that, let's see, August to December of 2021. And then I had or it might have been 2022. That would have been 2022.
Mm-hmm.
This is 2024, dude. I didn't even realize.
Barely.
Yeah, right?
We're there, though.
And then from there, after that shoot, I instantly, so I was working at a shop at the time, and I got with one of the sales reps, and I was like, hey, I really want to get a target bow. What should I go for? Because at the time, they had, it was PSE I was looking at. They had the Supra RTX, and then they had like the Citation. And I was looking at the Supra, and I was like, man, it looks like a good shooting bow. So many guys are shooting it well. And he had told me, like, hey, just wait, a month. We just happen to be dropping the Dominator Duo. Like, go for that, dude. So I ended up doing that. I shot the Duo for a while, and ended up shooting, after that first shoot, I shot the other 2 and then won the bracket in the men's open. So that was how I got my first buckle. And then from
And
there,
that was with the target bow.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
with the second 2 were with the target bow. The first one, I shot like a 296 with 18 X's or something. I was shooting VAPs, which are tiny, little micro 166.
As small as they can get,
Yeah,
for those of you who don't know.
You're playing the
pretty
hard
much.
game.
I was,
Whereas
dude.
bigger arrows on paper is easier.
And I was shooting
Smaller, harder.
I was shooting a 75-pound V3X with a button. And that was kind of my first, like, once I got that going, I was like, I want to do this. And so that's why I got a target bow after that.
So recently you did well at the top pin, which is that's a pretty big regional 3D shoot here.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kyle Douglas has been there in the past.
Yep.
There's usually
Tire competition.
Yeah.
there's usually a couple
Yeah.
pro archers or people who are like skirting that.
Sure.
You did well this year. Did you shoot at the top pin the year prior?
I shot there with a hunting bow just for fun with my friends.
And how did
And-
that go the year prior? Do you remember?
So I wasn't scoring, right? I
Yeah.
didn't even realize that was like a competition. Like I thought it was kind of like a
So
tack
1
type
year
thing.
before almost
Yeah.
winning it, you were just like shooting for fun.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was a competition.
That's
Like,
a pretty fast progression, dude.
I thought it was a tack kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where you just go
It
and
kind
shoot
of is
things
for some
and-
people.
Sure.
Like That's
Yeah.
how I've shot it a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually saw on I think it was a men's open thing at the end of the shoot. I was comparing because I kept score just for fun for me and my friends, and I was comparing scores, and I was like, oh, I would have won men's open by like 4 points. Maybe I should compete next year. And that was kind of what started something, at least for shooting bow hunter. And then after that, going into the next year, since I had been doing the whole target thing, I was, contemplating, since I'd never shot, with Henry Bass, who goes there every year, or I didn't know if Kyle Douglas was going to be there or anything. I was like, Ryan Farron shoots there, Sean Vincent, they're all really good shooters. And I didn't really know if I stood a chance. And I had a very lack mindset there where it was like, man, I probably should just shoot them open division, just go have fun. And I ended up being convinced to shoot the championship division, or I guess it'd be men's pro. And then I shot teams as well there, so you can do both at the same time. And
This previous one, 2023.
yeah,
You didn't going into that. You didn't know if you could do well.
not really. I mean, I knew I could shoot a bow, but I didn't know what I was going to be up against
That's crazy.
as far as like
Yeah.
actual competitors. And like I was looking at previous scores because I wanted to get an idea of like, okay, if I want to be the highest score after day 2, I have to shoot at least 30 up both days, which this is an OPA format. So you have 5, which is the body, 8 is the lungs, 10 is about a ring this big, depending on the target. It's like the heart. And then you have a lower 12, an upper 12, and you have a 14 out by the 8 and the 5.
So for most people, they're going to identify that as an ASA format, not
Right,
an
yeah,
IBO.
yeah.
But they're painted,
Yeah.
marked reference dots instead of on visual.
Yeah, so it's just like ASA, but yeah, it's I guess OPA style because all of those are in play the whole time. So for ASA stuff, which it might have been different back in the day, but for ASA stuff, it was, for your round, you can shoot for upper 12s, you can't shoot for 14s just on your round. 14s were only for the shoot off.
Gotcha.
So I was looking at the scores and I was like, okay, I got to shoot at least 30 up both days if I want to have a shot. And I didn't really know how I was going to do. I was, confident in my equipment and my capabilities, but the first 2 targets went like terribly. I shot like an 8 and a 5 on my first 2 targets because I was deciding whether I was going to shoot a hinge or a button because I've been shooting a hinge well leading into that that I'd picked up like a month prior. But the angles at top pin, trying to execute a hinge I've only been shooting a hinge a month at that point.
That'd be tough.
Yeah, it'd
be real tough.
It was something I didn't really know how I would work with it. So anyways, first target shot an 8, second target shot a 5, and I was like, screw this, I'm shooting a button. And I was still shooting VAPs. I wasn't shooting any fatties. I was still shooting my little VAPs because I knew that they shot well. And if my pin was there, then they would hit. And after I shot an 8 and a 5, I ended up hitting 13 out of 14 14s through the next, would have been 18 targets, and finished like 35
Was
up
that the
day one.
flatter course or the
No, that was the more angled. That was the
more
harder of
angled
the
one?
two.
Yeah.
So I ended up shooting, it was 30, I think it was 32 or 35 up day 1. And I was looking at, and Henry Bass had shot like a 25 up or something. And I was like, dude, I might actually have a shot at this.
You're
Like,
in the lead after day 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels great, but I don't like leading for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so much pressure on it. I like people tell me like, oh, if you're in the lead, you got nothing to worry about. But I know how people get, and I knew I had to stay aggressive no matter what. So, yeah, that was day 1. And then I was told that was a challenging course, and I was like, okay, well, day 2 should hopefully be easier. So I ended up going out day 2. It was a lot more lighting stuff, and I was definitely tired because top pin is not just a shoot where you're flinging arrows, you're hiking. Like it's like tack.
It's a little bit like a tack, but on lesser steroids. Like
Yeah.
the shots are shorter. They're more reasonably length.
Yeah.
Northwest Mountain Challenge is probably your closer comparison to the environment type.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh, you've shot it. Give an overview for someone listening.
It's very much like attack with shorter distances, visual spots to aim at.
on a mountain, legit
on
angles.
a mountain. You're up on a ski resort. You're riding chairlifts just like you would in those, but it's for score, and there's winners and losers and all that stuff. So it's a different format there. But I love the format. I think it's great. I would like to see it used a lot more and broader, and I appreciate them doing that thing every year, but it just hasn't grown as much as I think it should. Hopefully, exposure helps it. But it's a great event. It really is. And
it's
that's
fun.
one, unless there's some major conflict for me, I'll shoot it every
Yeah,
year.
we'll likely all be there again this year.
Yeah.
And
I shouldn't have to go to a wedding this time over that one.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But you did get us a good Airbnb.
Well, I do pick Airbnbs pretty good, apparently.
no, you're one for one,
I always get really good reviews on that one.
Yeah, you're one
Everyone's
for
telling
one.
me about it. Which, speaking of, we need to pick an Airbnb for San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio.
Probably to get on that.
I imagine it's sold out, but if it isn't sold out or you want to come hang out, we'll be creeping around Tax San Antonio.
We'll be shooting on Friday and Saturday.
Or if you're an Airbnb owner in that area or you have a spot that you want to suggest for us, slip into one of the DMs.
There you go. That'll work too.
So, yeah, you're in the lead, which, I don't know. That event's fun. I had way more fun this year going there and staying there.
sure.
And then we had a good group, too. Our friend Justin was there, who's over here, is our young Jamie today. And
He's petting your dog and half asleep. On
We
the couch
were-
at the moment. Looks pretty comfy.
we were hanging out, chatting afterwards, and you were telling us what you're up, and we're like, dude, you're in the lead by a good margin.
Yeah.
So day two,
Day two, I figured, someone else was going to try to take that lead, so I didn't really let up. However, day two, like I said, I was a little bit tired. My hold just wasn't the same as the day one, and ended up just having liners. Like everything I shot for was like, I was like 10 targets in, and I think I was 20 up or something, and then I finished like 25 up. Like I just didn't. Everything, like with a VAP, it was out by, if I was shooting standards, I would have hit like 614s.
do you think that, looking reflectively, that was an equipment choice error?
Yeah, I mean, I'd never shot it before. I never shot the OPA stuff or really, I thought my stuff grouped fine. Like I was like, okay, well, if I just shoot good, it's going in the middle. It's whatever. But I definitely see the value in shooting line cutters now
Yeah.
or a little bit bigger arrows.
Where my
Because-
head's at right now is I think you should shoot the fattest arrows that'll shoot well
Sure.
for your conditions.
As long as it's not windy.
Yeah, the wind will, for your conditions, right? So
Yeah.
But with the systems we run, Archer's Mark and stuff, like you could have multi-arrow setup potentially, right?
Yeah.
And then just have a skinny arrow and a fat arrow. Because the pros for a skinny arrow, right? They're going to cut the wind.
It's going to cut the wind more. It's more durable. So if you're like shooting with people that are just driving arrows into a group, you're going to burn
Yeah.
less arrows in that fashion.
Especially in like a safari or field format where
Exactly.
you have
Yeah.
4 people putting multiple arrows in every
Like the
dot.
reddings and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. So
Yep.
that you want to shoot small arrows, not big arrows, because you won't get through it.
Yeah.
You'll break so many freaking arrows. It's not even funny.
And there's some long shots of those too where, like Redding, you've got a 101 yard Bigfoot where 27s, if you've got the slightest breeze, it's going to throw it a foot right.
Right.
But yeah, so anyways, after that, I think I ended up being like 3 points in the lead after day two. Ryan Ferrens went on a tear day two. Like first day, I think he shot 12 or 18 down. And second day, he finished like 60 up, like 50 or 60 up. It was stupid. Like he shot crazy and made his way into the top 5. That was right after he got the clicker from you, I think, the stand clicker.
Yeah, he called me. He was
Yeah.
like, "Do you really have any of these? And
Yeah.
Can you please get me one?"
Right.
Yeah, he had just gotten that.
Yeah. So I
He
don't
got
know.
that like 3 days prior or something like
Yeah.
that. It was quick.
From
So
what
if-
I understand, sorry, you go
I was
ahead.
going to say, for reference, the 14s on targets are generally probably like a 50-cent piece, but it depends on the size of the target, length of the shot. So on
Yeah.
your smallest targets, the 14s are like a dime.
Yeah.
And on your biggest targets, it would maybe be like double the size of a 50-cent piece.
I'd say the biggest 14 there was on a 70-yard. It was a 70-yard bedded elk, and the 14 was probably about the size of a decent sized apple, like that.
Yeah, which I distinctly remember that shot. Justin probably does too. It was a bedded elk through a hallway, uneven lighting the whole way. I got a really cool visual on my camera shot. I have a YouTube video from that event if you guys want or some reference, but shot beautiful arrow down this hallway. And I think I might have hit a 10, and I felt lucky to have hit a 10. And then when I heard that you shot at that 14, I was like, dude, you have issues. Like, how could you aim at that 14 from 74 yards? It's
Sorry.
basically smaller than an apple or like a gala apple.
Yeah.
74 yards through a window. How did you even aim it? In your head, you thought that was the best play to aim at that 14.
Well,
And
see-
but you did hit it, so I can't hate on it. But
What I've left out so far was that I wasn't necessarily playing for my highest score. Like I was trying to compete. I was trying to be up there, but I was really playing for teams. I was shooting with my buddy Clayton. He's from South Idaho and drove like 6 or 7 hours up to come shoot it. He never shot it before. And really our play was like the whole time, the first person, they decide what they want to go for, whether it's 10, 12, 14, whatever. It was usually 12. And if they hit the 12, then the second person shoots for 14 because you've already hit a good score. So it's safe there.
Sure.
And then now second person's going to go for 14 and potentially up our team score.
It's like a best ball format. The highest score is the one that counts.
Yeah.
Right.
So if Michael shoots a 12, it's a no-brainer to shoot a 14.
Right.
If Michael shoots a 10, maybe you shoot at a 12, or
Yes.
maybe you risk it for the biscuit.
Exactly.
Or Michael shoots a 5, then it's like, hey, we probably should take our points and shoot at a 10 or 12 or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we ended up, like, we were literally just playing the team game the whole time, and I ended up doing well on my own. But we ended up, like, after day 2, like, there was Henry Bass and Bill Drake. They shot great. They were shooting off for second place in teams against Matt Alwine and Ryan Farron, so they were tied, and we were 16 points above second place just because we just done our strategy the best we could. And
Ham and egged it well.
yeah, we ended up executing that strategy.
Where's
really
Bill
well.
Drake out of? He did well at Vegas.
I think he did. I think it's Oregon.
I thought he was like out of Wayne Shop,
Yeah,
but I might be wrong.
I don't
not
remember.
sure.
But Bill Drake was in the seniors at Vegas, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was in the final couple.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
a great dude.
Apparently,
Like,
yeah, he
super
shoots
nice,
really
shoots
well.
really good.
I'm pretty sure it's Wayne's the bow rack in Eugene, Oregon, just in case you're
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he
Pretty sure.
shoots really great. Like everyone shot really great that weekend. I mean, I think the separation between fourth and first for me was, going into the shoot off. I think separation was like 8 points. So
You were first going into the shoot off, or were you tied?
I was first by like 2 or 3 points.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ended up first target in the shoot off. I don't know why, but everyone shot an 8. There were 5 people, all the highest of the high as far as the scores go, and everyone drew back and shot an 8. So I straight up I run my button a little hot. I got in there, and as soon as I started aiming, I accidentally pulled through it and hit an 8. I was shooting for 14. And anyways, after that, I just started trying to play it safe. So on the next target was a little further, shot for a 12, missed it, so shot a 10. Next target after that was the furthest. It was almost 50 yards, I think, and shot for a 12 and missed that by a hair for a 10. And then third target and the fourth target and the fifth target, I both shot 14s on. And so I'm like, I think it came down to the last target, and Justin was standing behind me, and he had just watched Henry Bass shoot for the 14 on like the 49-yard whatever, and he's got his binos up. He's like, "Yeah, Henry's out, dude. You just got to shoot a 14 to win." I'm like, "Okay, great." So I draw back. It's moving around. I'm like, "Okay, I'll let down," and I don't usually let down.
I remember
not
that.
to.
Yeah.
I try not to, but I ended up
It was
drawing
windy.
back.
It was windy. Yeah.
It was windy. But yeah, I drew right back, put it right in the middle of the 14. And I was like, okay, well, I did everything I can. Like, hopefully his arrows get called out. At least for, like, I want to see everyone succeed, but I was like,
You still want to win.
if
Yeah.
it's out, then then I won something, whatever. And he ended up hitting it just barely. They looked at it for like 30 seconds. They're like, yeah, it's in. It's like, yeah, I mean, I got beat. It is what it is. They shot great. Henry shot great, and ended up losing by like 2 points, but still paid out relatively well. And then won teams with Clayton, so that went well.
And so that second place at a regional event, that's like, I mean, for 3D, it's probably our biggest 3D regional event
And in reality, you only lost to a pro.
with pros,
Yeah,
former pros
I
there.
lost to a guy who's made the Vegas shoot off multiple times and formerly #1 ranked in the world. Like,
Nothing to be ashamed of there.
like,
Yeah, you did good.
yeah, he's
That's
a great
crazy.
shooter, and I was really,
Yeah.
I mean, I love competing with all those guys. But probably my biggest takeaway was from that weekend and what kind of set me going forward, which I had met Blake Jerome. He's out of Washington. I had met him at that Moses Lake indoor shoot previously. And it was the one that convinced me. He was like, hey, if you're going to go shoot, you might as well go shoot pro. Like, if you can, if you don't, you don't have a pro card, it's not an NFA event, so it doesn't matter. Just go shoot pro. And after that, I was like, well, I guess I'm doing this for everything now. So, and I was glad I did. So I've taken that same approach to everything I've shot since. If I can, without having a pro card or without if I can't physically shoot pro or championship, then I won't. But if I can, I want to compete with the best there is around and learn as much as I possibly can. That's just my competitive spirit, and I really want to challenge myself that way.
Well, we had that discussion before Vegas,
Yeah.
right? It's like, no, if you're going, you're paying for that.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
You'd be foolish because there's such a difference in what that feels like and what you're going to experience.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we talk about Vegas now.
Yeah. So in all fairness, like
got into
that
Segue.
Yeah.
regional is
Little
small
mild segue.
small potatoes
Yeah.
compared to Vegas, the biggest indoor archery shoot in the world.
Yeah.
And you shot some local regional indoor stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I
Caught
shot
a dub this year, right?
Yeah, I shot some 3Ds and some indoor stuff and won some buckles and all that. But yeah, I mean, most of the stuff I do right now, just because of how the local stuff works, there's not a ton of buckle shoots, or if there is, it's after you shoot 3 shoots or whatever. Most of the stuff I try to go to is, for money, maybe to pay out just double of what you entered or something, just have a fun weekend.
Yeah.
But I've definitely shot a lot more indoor this year, and kind of discovered that I think probably Vegas face is my favorite form of archery, and I seem to do well on it. That was definitely something going into the Vegas shoot that I was like, yeah, I mean, I feel good shooting a Vegas round, and when Josh was trying to convince me not to shoot flights, because I was only thinking about the money. I was like, if I go shoot Vegas, it's going to cost me this much money. I'd rather not come home empty-handed. And so if I go shoot flights, there's a relatively good chance I walk away with,
Something, yeah.
$800-900, or even like if I won flights, it's like $3,500. So I was like, well, maybe I could actually make the trip worth it that way. But I'd say it was much more worth it to actually shoot championship and feel the pressure of it, having never done that before, and shooting with the best in the world on the line there. I think that was definitely the right call, and like I said, I'll try to shoot as many things championship or pro as I possibly can now. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So let's fast forward to Vegas.
And what do you think? What was your day one experience like for you? How'd the first day go?
It was just a lot of fun. There, I met a ton of great people. Even the night we showed up, we went to the range. So Jonesy got there beforehand, but the night I showed up, wanted to go straight to the range. Met some great people. Got talking with Jeff Rainey and ended up making really good friends with him over the weekend. And we ended up, shooting each other's bows because we're both shooting titles now. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun. And that first day, I didn't really know what to expect, and I think that was a good thing that I didn't have any expectations. Just because when you don't have expectations, or at least serious expectations, you can have an expectation of yourself, like, hey, I know I can shoot this in practice, and I'm very capable of that. But as soon as you especially at a high amateur level where you're like, I can totally shoot a 300, and you go out there, you're going to start feeling the nerves as soon as you start thinking about
What about
that.
thinking about shooting your worst possible score? How does that go?
I don't think about
Thanks. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it.
that. Yeah, no, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
On that note, hey, Justin, you want to get me another one of these?
Right.
What do you have in your little
Sorry, I gotta
koozie there?
blow my nose real quick.
Oh, this is my
What do we call that?
this is my hopeful sponsor someday. Well,
Keystone.
Oh yeah.
don't like.
That's good.
Hopefully, we're the future hosting the Keystone Classic archery event. Huh?
That would be dope, man. But Keystone doesn't sponsor anything. They don't even have swag.
They probably
Well,
don't need to. They're
turn that around.
probably sponsored by all the videos that get made on TikTok with their
Because if
hands.
you know, you know, man. If you're drinking Keystone Light, you know. You don't need no advertising.
Don't.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so day one, no expectations.
No expectations. Got on the line.
I had some expectations.
He had expectations, dude.
I did.
How was your
Everyone was kinda
practice
adamant.
like, though? Vegas lighting, all that nuance of stuff.
Dude, this is the best part of the whole weekend. I completely forgot to practice. I didn't realize that from one line to the next, even though there was a 45-minute span from where the last line stopped shooting to when the next line starts, you can't practice out there.
Yeah.
Like they have a practice room, you can go shoot that. I didn't know where the close one was at the time. I knew that there was one, but it was like, man, it's gonna be a 5-minute walk to get there, and then shoot there for however long, and then come back, and now I'm gonna be worn out as soon as I get on the line. So I was just like, screw it, I'm not gonna do it. And So, anyways, for a Vegas round, you have your 2 warm up ends before you shoot your 30 arrows. And so for those 2 warm up ends, I had to get used to the lighting, had to get warmed up, and get my head in order, and ended up doing all right first day, and shot a 324x, which I was happy with that for never been in Vegas before. Like I said, I didn't really have any expectations. I just kind of knew what I was capable of and just stayed focused. And it was good. It was a
Talk
good
about
first
all
day.
your equipment choices.
Yeah, so like I said, I shot a duo for a while, a PSE. After kind of the new bows came out this year, especially working in a shop, we're really encouraged to shoot the newest and best because we sell it. So it's something where I was looking at all the newer bows. I was looking at the Super X because I'd been used to PSE. I was looking at, I shot everything. I shot the Stratos. I shot the Reckoning Gen 2. So I shot everything. And
Yeah, you put together like 4 bows.
Yeah,
Or
you
5
did.
bows.
yeah, I shot them all for, I
Yeah.
think the least amount of time was the Stratos I had for like 4 days. And it was just because it was too slow. And I couldn't get it to hit behind the pin, which just didn't fit my shooting style.
Yeah.
So anyways, I settled on a title. And originally there were some kinks I was trying to work out, but the more in time that I spend with it, the more I realize like that's the bow right now. Like the Super X is a great shooter. There's so many good shooting bows out there, and a lot of people, just have different shooting styles, and one bow will fit them better than another, even if they don't know it. But so the title ended up working really well, fit my shooting style, and I just stuck with that, and it's just gotten better and better since. So it's been, there's a little bug on my knee, but
So go through your bow, sight, scope, lens,
Yeah, what do y'all shoot?
arrows.
yeah. So a
What
lot
kind of underwear were you wearing?
What's that?
Underwear,
That's right.
G-string, power thong.
Yeah.
Commando? Commando?
No. So first, let's see. So title, I've got a CBE Axis sight on there.
Yep.
I've got an UltraView sight, a UV3 with a 6-power doublet lens. And I shoot a pin for basically everything. So I'm colorblind and like mildly. It's not terrible, but when I look at any kind of target, really, that's not like white. A blue pin stands out the best for me, so I shoot a blue pin. I've tried messing around with a dot before, especially indoor, and I shot it for like 2 weeks, and it shot all right, but I just didn't find the same forgiveness, just because I really wasn't able to look at the middle, and that's kind of how I focus, is I look straight in the middle. So anyways, shooting a UV3 with a blue pin. I'm shooting Conquest bars with a couple different kinds of weights on there, some AAE, some podium, and then I'm shooting, let's see, for release right now I'm shooting a Scott Ascent. It's a 4-finger that I shoot as a 3. It's a hinge, and have it set pretty hot. And then I've got a True Ball Abyss that I've been messing with a little bit lately, which is what I won top pin with, or won teams in top pin with. But yeah, so I've got all that. And then for arrows, I've got PS27s, so Black Eagle PS27s, 300 spine. They're 100 grains in the front, and even though I'm shooting 30 inches, my arrows are like 27 and a half carbon to carbon.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really light. I find that a light arrow is really forgiving.
410 grains or something. We just measured them up the other
They're
day, right?
418 or 420.
Yeah.
Shooting at like 283 or 285 FPS. So they're cooking pretty good.
Yeah.
And
It's pretty fast for a fatty.
right? I know.
Right?
Yeah, I was shooting Victory VTACs before that. And my arrow build, the lightest I could get it was 600 grains. And so I went from that to these, and I was like, holy smokes. Because the thing is when you have a heavy arrow and you're holding in the middle, and if your pin starts to drift out a little bit when your shot breaks, a heavy arrow is on the string longer and it pulls out further. And so, you put a light arrow on there and you break a bad shot that's starting to drift out, your arrow's off the string faster. It's just more forgiving for if you hold really well. And so that's what I've settled on, and I've shot that really well. And
Super Saber vanes.
yeah, DCA Super Sabers for indoor. I'm running the mini sabers on my hunting arrows right now, but the Super Sabers they're nice, dude. They steer great. I tried some other different things, and they just seem to be the most forgiving for my setup. And I think that's most everything. Oh, I'm shooting a Hamsky Pete with a clarifier in there.
Yeah, I don't know if did you say what arrow rest you're using?
Oh, I'm shooting a Hamsky hybrid target, just the normal steel blade that comes with it. I've shot a couple different blades, and again, that seems to be the most forgiving for my setup. So
And you're still running the stock strings on that, right? The match.
Yeah, I've got probably 10-ish thousand arrows through the match strings,
Yeah.
and they're
And that's
They're
legit
solid.
10K arrows.
they're solid,
yeah.
dude. They're solid strings. They're probably the best strings I've ever shot, which is saying something.
Yeah. That's awesome. That kind of durability test is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you made it through day one, shot clean. What was like, how'd you feel or whatever?
Well, as soon as I shot clean, at least shot a 300, which I like to, just aim for the X. So I really go off my X count because you're trying to hit the middle. But, in Vegas, 300 is a 300. So I went around, I'd heard about, if you go to the booths, you can get stickers for it. And I was like, oh, that sounds fun, something to bring home. And so I went by each booth for different things that I shot. They gave me a 300 sticker for whatever I was shooting.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they give you stickers and stamps and stuff.
Yeah, so I hit the Hamsky booth, hit the Black Eagle Conquest Darton booth for the arrows and stabs, and whatever. Made my way to the Matthews booth, and then they just hung it up there for the weekend. So that was the first thing, and then from there it's just go shoot my bow more because I like shooting my bow. So went straight to the range.
And then what'd you do like that evening? Did you sleep okay?
Yeah, I mean, I shot relatively late. I shot like 300 arrows day one, which I probably shouldn't have,
That's
but
a
I was
lot.
just having fun. Like I was shooting with my friends. I love shooting arrows.
Can I preface that I told you not to do that?
You did. You absolutely.
that.
Yeah, you said.
Jesus Christ, don't
You
do
said
that.
don't do that. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
And then day two, I ended up shooting like 40, which was my scoring round, and then a couple arrows for practice. So,
Yeah. So how'd you feel rolling into day two? Where was your head at and stuff?
like I said, I try not to keep a high expectation. Just to be confident in yourself and your equipment and know what you're capable of, and just go out there and shoot your bow like you know how. People around me were telling me, "Oh man, you're still clean. Go shoot another one." I'm like, "Yep, I'll see what I can do." Like, we'll see how it goes. I never really.
That's dirty pool to tell you that.
I never.
Just so you know.
What's
You're
that?
still clean. Look at you. You're shooting so good.
Oh my gosh,
That's
dude.
a horrible thing to say.
I know it's terrible.
Yeah.
You guys are dirty.
Yeah, people were telling me, and I'm like, man, I don't know, just shot all right, and we'll see what I can put together today. And it was bad day two. I just wasn't aiming great, but ended up keeping them all in the 10. But went from shooting a 24x 300 day one to an 18x on the day two, and so I was like, I count X's. Like I said, I like to hit the middle, and so I wasn't super happy with that, but I had some close calls that ended up getting called in and kept me in the game. So
What were like the hardest arrows?
the
Was it
third and the 30th,
the first end of your first
Yes.
end, and then that final arrow.
the final arrow.
Yeah.
I feel nerves like anyone else. It's just that generally nerves, they'll, make me move around a little. Maybe my legs get tense, or maybe I'll float around a little bit more around the target, whatever it is. Nerves really make me focus. So when there's that pressure that's like, like this, you shoot a 10 here, you're clean. Like, great. So for my 30th arrow on both days, I try to block that stuff out as much as possible, but I mean, it'll creep into anyone. So I got up there, shot my first arrow, and it was very close to being out, but it was relatively good. And then second arrow was good. Third arrow, a lot of pin float, but just really trusted it. Ended up breaking in the middle. But yeah, it was the same thing day one. The most nerves were my third and my 30th arrow. Other than that, it was just normal tournament pressure that I was kind of used to managing.
Yeah.
So
So then you made it through 2 days clean. That's 60 of 90 arrows.
Mm-hmm.
Were you and Josh hanging out after that? What'd you have going on?
yeah, we hung out.
Yeah, we hung out. Walked
Good
around a bit.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. He came over, started watching me shoot terrible, and then left quickly. So did Brian.
Hey.
Like Brian came over, watched me shoot like one round. I turned around, they're gone. Like, oh man.
Yeah.
And in reality, that's the greatest thing you could possibly do, because like you really need more stress when you're already shooting like crap.
Yeah.
Well, you don't need somebody to sit there and watch it and witness it, right?
Yeah.
So it was.
That was my headspace.
Thank you. Yeah, so thank you. Well, Brian's was the same too. I turned around, they're gone. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I came in, I filmed it. I watched you shoot 3 arrows, and I was like, oh, he's shooting good. And then I just left. I was like,
Yeah, out of here.
yeah, let him do his thing.
Yeah, no, that was great.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And then that night we had, what was that? Oh, the Indoor World Series.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun.
Was that cool to watch?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's different than, your Vegas stuff, because that, like I'm talking about that X, you got your 9, which is relatively big, and then you got the 10.
Oh, you forgot something that was very significant that happened that evening. you left your key in the room after you walked all the way back to the hotel.
I did.
You called me. You're like, what do I do? I was like, well, you go to the front desk and ask for another key, or you can walk your ass all the way back over here and get mine. But I'm a long ways over here.
Mind you, it's like a 15-minute walk from our room to where he was. So I was like, I'm not doing that. So I went to the front
Carrying
desk.
your gear and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot that important little tidbit.
Yeah.
What was the food like in Vegas? Like, what were you guys doing for dinner or whatever?
There's like 10 different things you could eat in the hotel.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
They're all right. You guys didn't leave the hotel?
One meal. I had one meal that wasn't at the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I ate everything at the hotel.
Yeah. You were a big fan of Steak and Shake.
Dude, I love burgers.
I've heard good things about Steak and Shake.
It's really good. Like
Is
it's
it?
legit good, and it wasn't expensive. Like most of the things that you could have were probably twice as much. I bet you ate Steak and Shake at least 6 times.
4.
Were you having shakes
Well, no,
too?
but you got an extra one and had it for breakfast the next day, so that counts as 5.
Yeah, that counts, dude. That
counts.
4. I think it was 4. I don't know.
Did you take a
Maybe it was
shake
more.
for the room?
What?
Actually, I
were
believe
you
I
on?
was the only person who had a shake.
No, I bought him an extra burger, and then because I texted him, I was in line, and those lines move quick. But it was also like there was so many people as well. I was like, I'm not going through this again. So I texted Josh, and I was like, Hey, do you want a burger? I made it through the line, got him a burger, got out, and I looked at it, and he's like, No. I'm like, All right,
Well, guess I got breakfast.
I'll just eat it tomorrow. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. But
That's
yeah.
cool. So you're 60 of 90 arrows in, right? You're
Yeah.
rolling into day 3,
Uh-huh.
which is, were you thinking about getting, where was your head at going into day 3? How many people were clean at that point?
42 or 43, I think, had 600s
Oh, dang. 42
out of 284 in championship.
in the championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some interesting ones that I didn't expect that either dropped them day 1 or day 2. Like
Couple of wrong target shot.
Yeah, former
wrong targets. just
Vegas
bad-
champ. What was his name?
Yeah, Chris Schaff.
Krishoff. He dropped 2 points and ended up being out of even the lucky dog shoot.
Yeah, which I mean, it sucked, but you know, there was a lot of shooters that shot.
Yeah. So the
nines.
point is, even being a pro or someone who's very experienced, like there's no guarantees you're getting to the shoot off.
Yeah, no,
You have to earn
sure.
every little bit.
Yeah.
And stay present and get through those 90 arrows.
yeah.
So take us through kind of in detail what Sunday was like.
Again, not a ton of expectations. More people telling me that I'm clean, and I was hanging out at the Matthews booth for a while because
They're so dirty.
I know,
It's
exactly,
just so
dude.
mean.
Yeah.
It's like
People-
oh man, this kid's like 19. I shouldn't call you a kid. You're an adult. I mean, you're mature and
Yeah.
whatnot. And I shouldn't say that, but it's just like it's so mean.
Yeah.
Like let him keep focused a little bit. Don't everybody remind you how good you're doing.
Yeah.
Like you're not capable of it, and you're posing a miracle. Which I've watched you shoot. I know how capable you are. I know how doable that was for you.
Sure.
Like I wasn't like that. Hey man, you're doing really good. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm trying to remember exactly what I told you. I was like, hey, you focus on one arrow.
Yeah,
one
you're
shot.
like, don't think about 900,
Don't think
don't
about
listen to
that.
anyone.
What
Yeah.
are you doing?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
just this. And that's
Shoot your
it.
arrow, 1 arrow at a
Stay
time.
present.
Shoot your
Yeah.
arrow one arrow at a time. That's it. Don't listen to any of this crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my line wasn't till noon on Sunday, and I got up real early, and I hung out at the Matthews booth for a while and just walked around, talked to friends, and ended up Derek Fisher, the pro staff manager, came over and we were talking, and I talked with Jeff Rainey and Sawyer Sullivan, and just a lot of great guys, and Jeff was like, "Oh yeah, you totally make Matthew pro staff if you shoot a 900." I was like, "Don't tell me
Why
that,
do you
dude."
do that?
I know exactly.
Oh,
I was like,
God, what a
I was like,
dick.
Jeff, I don't
Oh
need
my
to hear
goodness,
that.
just nasty.
It was funny though.
Whoa,
Yeah.
what? No. What
was-
are you doing?
It was funny. I didn't mind it, but he's a great guy. I mean, he had no ill intent with it. He was just letting me know, like
You might add a little.
Yeah.
Oh.
just minor. Just
maybe,
little.
but
Just a little.
So you're like a big fan of the sport of indoor archery. Did you get to meet many of the people that you like kind of look up to or follow
Yeah.
on socials?
yeah, there's a lot of people that I met that, like I said, I even got along with. Like ended up having fun with for the weekend. Sawyer Sullivan and Jeff Rainey. I ended up shooting with Matthias Fullerton, who won the whole thing. We shot for an hour or so together, me, him, and Sawyer. And yeah, I mean, I met a lot of great people. Met Chris Perkins, and people I look up to in the sport for sure. And yeah, it was a great time. I already had met a good chunk of the pros just because I went to Field Nationals in Darrington in July, and so I met like Jesse there and Paige and some of those other guys. I can't remember if I met Jimmy Lutz at Vegas or there. But anyways,
You should probably tell the story of what happened there briefly.
Oh, I will.
The significant part.
Sure.
Just FYI, don't.
Yeah.
You can finish your Vegas and then
Yeah.
talk about that, but that's something you should talk about
sure.
because I think it shows a lot of who you are.
Yeah.
Final day.
Yeah.
Take us through what that shoot feels like.
Yeah. I mean,
30 arrows to basically, would you say like it's your dream to get to that shoot off or just win it or?
I'd say my dream is to win it,
Yeah.
but of course, getting there is a step.
Let's not say dream, let's say goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a goal. It's like,
Because dreams are typically something that may or may not happen.
right.
Goals are things you'll achieve.
Yeah.
And
Something I really
I
wanna
totally
do.
believe you will one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was definitely a goal of mine. But like I said, I didn't really have expectations going into this shoot. And so, I kept it that way throughout. I shot the 600 clean. And it was definitely surreal to be down there on the line with the 41 other shooters that still, were still all clean. Because it was, that's just only the top dogs out there. So it was really cool to be down there with them. Sorry. A little under the weather.
So we call it a little Vegas cough.
Yeah, right.
A little Vegas clap.
Yeah, a little bit. I thought what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Right.
Right.
Apparently not the clap.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You're
Go
good,
ahead.
dude.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, so going into those arrows, I kept the same focus that I had day 1 and day 2. I was just really focused on every single arrow, managing my time. Shot timing is a huge thing, especially, when you get down there under pressure. Like anyone can shoot a 300 or let's say shoot a 27, 28X. You're very capable. Like a 300, you're very capable of shooting in competition. If you're averaging 28, 29Xs, like you're very capable of winning the whole thing. Like it's
Yeah.
most of those guys that get up there are shooting, on a bad day, 28s in practice, 27s. And so anyways, it was really cool to be down there with all those guys and had some great shooters on the line next to me. I was shooting next to Chris Hacker on my bail. I had Martin Damsbo on the left side. He's out of Denmark. He's a stud, shoots really, really good. And then I had a couple other guys on my bail. Jake Miller, he ended up shooting a 900. Chris Hacker shot a 900. And then I had Isaac Bedford on my bail as well, who didn't end up sealing the deal there. But so day 3, just went into it like a normal shoot. Went to focus and shoot good arrows. And it ended up being on my second end, my third arrow, I was holding a little bit low and just had a dip bang get away from me. Which I'm usually fine if it's holding a hair low because it's just like, okay, bottom of the X. But I just wasn't strong through the whole shot and ended up dropping 1.
I would just like to clarify, didn't Levi say the titles don't have a dip bang in them?
Dude, that was when the title first came out, he said, this bow does not dip bang.
Levi.
And I said, that's why I
We
paid
have a contradictory
$2,100.
result here, according to you.
Right?
The dip bang is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. But so I dropped 1 fairly early, and then from there, usually when I either lose a shoot or a shoot off or I drop a point or something like that, I start shooting mad.
You get a little more determined.
Oh, dude, I start shooting mad.
Start shooting a little angry.
Yeah, I get really angry at the target and focus like crazy hard.
Yeah.
And after I dropped that 9, it was nothing but inside out X's for like 3 ends, and I was like, okay, I should have just been doing this all day. Like but yeah, it was good. So yeah, I dropped the 1. I finished with like 22 or 23 X's that day. But I shot a 299. So yeah, 899 for my first time in Vegas. So that was cool. I didn't really, like I said, didn't have any expectations, but just went there to have fun and shoot bows. So it went well.
So from the history of Vegas and the Vegas style is if you shoot at 899, you're not out.
Right.
You get the opportunity to go into the Lucky Dog shoot.
It is
And-
the gambling town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one person advances out of the Lucky Dog to the shoot off.
Yeah.
So you had that opportunity, which is freaking amazing, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I think 42 people made it to the Lucky Dog or something.
There were it was more than that.
Yeah.
It was probably high 40s. I know for like the 10K a day thing, the evening before, for everyone that shot 300s, it was like 80. Like there's a lot day 2. There's a lot of 300s. And anyways, so Lucky Dog,
So how did the Lucky Dog go for you?
I mean, the lucky dog is lucky dog. It's very much luck based, but a good shooter will come out on top. I ended up like first arrow is like if you shoot an X, you go the next round, and then after that, it's inside out X's count as 10s only. And first arrow shot what I felt like was a decent shot, broke a little low, and anyways, judge went up and looked at it for like 20 seconds and was like, "Yeah, it's out." And I'm like, "Come on, dude, first round," but it is whatever.
Yeah.
Not such a lucky dog.
Yeah, not such a lucky dog, man. Yeah, it's hard, dude, but yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, and basically you got to close out your first ever trip to Vegas with a $8.99 opportunity to shoot in the lucky dog. If that gave you like a final placing in the tournament, it puts you in the top 80 or 100 or
I think I
64th.
Yeah, I think it was like 65th or something that I'm sitting right
Which
now.
is awesome, dude.
I didn't end up really looking at it, but yeah, I mean,
I want to say I made you look at it to tell me what you were.
you did. You wanted,
Yeah, you weren't looking at it. I was like, no, I want to know what you ended up at.
Yeah,
And probably half to 3/4 of the people that beat you are sponsored shooters, right? Like
Oh,
people
wait,
who-
more than that. No, we
Was it more
actually
than that?
went back and I made him count it. And I think there's 3 people on that list above him that weren't sponsored.
Okay.
Like direct, not like through a shop. Like
Yeah.
For clarification, Michael is technically sponsored by me, but that's it.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have direct factory sponsorship or anything like that.
No.
So there's only a couple of people on that list that didn't have that.
yeah,
So he's humble, but he accomplished something a lot of people never will, and I guarantee he'll accomplish more than he has.
we'll see.
You will.
We'll try.
You will. You got the right
Yeah.
mindset and the right habits. I mean, you're choosing to work in an archery shop, and your only requirement was I'm not working on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday because I want to be a professional archer.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of it. You'll be fine.
Yep.
You'll
That's
get
the
there.
dream. That's
Yeah.
the goal.
So can you can you touch on your what was that?
Darrington experience.
Darrington
Yeah.
experience. Yeah, just briefly. What
Sure.
what there was a this is when I really personally I guess I really understood you
Yeah.
better after I heard about that story
Yeah.
from you. And I think it reinforced my belief that you actually really could do
Sure.
this.
Yeah.
So, anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so for Darrington, I'd never shot field except like one time before that. Which, keep in mind, Darrington, as far as field shooting goes, it's a lot of arrows, and Darrington's really steep. So it's 112 arrows for a field round, 28 targets, 4 arrows in each target.
It's a lot
that right?
of shooting, yeah.
Is that 112? I can't remember.
28 times 4 is
Yeah.
yeah.
112. So,
Yeah.
anyways, so it was a lot of arrows. I didn't really know. Again, didn't have expectations. Didn't really know. I'd shot one field shoot beforehand, and I did okay, but I ended up shooting a couple zeros on a walk up where me and one of the other guys I was shooting with, we shot like 4 arrows, and they're all good arrows. And then like one of the guys in my group was like, "Hey, this is a walk up, so you have to shoot 1 arrow, walk up 5 yards, shoot another arrow, walk up 5 yards." So you had to do that. Anyways, shot a couple zeros. Anyways, that was my only previous experience. And then for Darrington, I ended up shooting all right day one. I think I shot like a 554 or 555 out of 560. So kept it pretty good. Still not, I mean, the pros, which I'm humbled by this every time I see, like even at the Vegas shoot, I shot sure an 899, but I only had 65 X's, whereas Matthias had 87. Kyle Douglas had 86 or whatever it is. Mike Slosser had 87. Bodie Turner had 87. Like these guys they're not just shooting 10s, they're shooting middle. So I definitely see where I've still got a ways to go there. But so first day went well at Darrington. Second day, I was just pretty tired again. I seemed to not do as well on my day twos for most things. Just because I like to shoot a lot of arrows, and on the day one, I always get excited, and I shoot stuff, and I'm shooting my bow in practice, and
Try to tell you.
yeah, I know, I
Try
shoot
to
like
tell you. It's a
300
marathon, right?
arrows,
Listen.
It's a
and then the
marathon.
next day I can't aim, but anyways, came to the third day, I was sitting all right. I think I was top 4 or 5 for men's open, because I didn't have a pro card, or still don't, but so I was sitting relatively good for the men's open there, and ended up shooting the field round and shot let's see, 27 zeros, I think it was. What happened was, so the way that field works is you have your practice target. So we had started with our practice target is 13. So 13 was our practice target where we decided what order we're going to shoot in. And then that was your warm-up target, and then your next target. So target 14 would be the first one that you score. So there's 28 targets. On an animal round, you're shooting for, you got a really big circle or oval, and then you got a black dot in the middle. If you hit the oval, it's 10. If you hit the black dot, it's 11. So, anyways, so 28 up is generally how I look at it for if you shoot a perfect animal round. So, day 3, we shot, so target 14, and then we went to 15 right then and there without realizing that we didn't switch bales. So we ended up shooting like really good. It was
What
like
does switching bales mean?
switching order. So like I said, after you go from, when you do a half, you have to switch. So you go from our target 14 to target 15. If, like, let's say that I'm shooting top left. So the two guys that are shooting top, so there's top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. Two guys that are shooting top, shoot together. Two guys that are shooting bottom, shoot together. At the half, whether it's at 14 to 15 or if it's at 28 to 1, you switch it. So instead of me being top left, I go to bottom right, and the guy who is top right goes to bottom left. So it just switches around. So anyways, we didn't switch, completely spaced it for whatever reason. And we got to like 18 or 20 targets in, like we were almost, like we were 2/3 of the way through. And I went over to one of the guys I was shooting with, and I was like, did we switch? Did we switch targets? And we started thinking about it really hard, and we were like, we did not switch targets. Like, that sucks, because now everything we just shot was a 0. Which, I mean, anyone could have kept their mouth shut and just didn't say anything, but I was like, no, this was, like, this is not fair. We didn't shoot this correct. We got to turn this in. And so we just shot the rest of the round the same order we had been doing. So we shot 27 zeros, even though we realized at a certain point. Anyways, so we did that. I actually shot relatively good, and like even before I realized that there was no pressure on it or whatever, shooting relatively good. I shot like 22 up out of 28 up or something like that, and went to the booth to turn in our scores, and it was like, all right, we shot 27 zeros, guys. And they're like, what? Like, what do you mean? And we're like, well, we shot 13 for practice. We shot 14. And then we shot 15, and we moved on, and we didn't switch. And then they're like, oh. So the president of the NFAA was right there, and he had basically just said, like, hey, like, I commend your honesty. Like, if you wouldn't have told us, you would have had the points anyways. I'm just going to give you your points. And I'm like, no, you're not. I didn't shoot them fairly. Like, I would have podiumed. Like, if I would have podiumed on an illegitimate score, which I'm not okay with.
You wouldn't have felt good about.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even feeling good about it. It's what's right or wrong, and it wouldn't have been right. So I was like, no, you're not giving me my points. And ended up being like bottom 4 or whatever out of however many hundreds of people. And I mean, it wasn't a big deal, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that was,
Well, now hold on a second. That's
Yeah.
not fair. In all reality, that was a big deal.
sure, the act of, yeah.
Because when the guy that runs the entire NFA tries to tell you to take your points and you won't take them,
Yeah,
it just says a lot about who you are.
sure.
And I commend you for that, because not a lot of people would have done that.
Yeah,
A lot of people would have went, well, what's the difference?
yeah,
Still scored right. But
Yeah.
you're like, no, that's not right. We didn't do it right. I mean, I'm sure some of the people in your group probably tried to say, hey, it's not a big deal, right? Let's just keep them.
yeah. I mean, we
And
talked
you
it over for like, almost every target. It was like, did we switch? Like we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we all agreed.
But I can just tell you in all honesty, there's not very many people that would have done that.
Yeah,
And you did that.
yeah,
So don't gloss over it like it's not a big deal. It is.
yeah,
And be proud of yourself for that, because that's a hard thing.
yeah.
Like
I got a lot of handshakes after that.
you did the right thing.
Yeah,
And that just goes to show a lot of who you are as a person, that not very many people are that person.
appreciate that.
Be proud of it.
Yeah,
So it's something that people should know about you, because
Yeah.
not a lot of people will.
It's very cool. Yeah, and it takes a lot to,
Yep.
It does.
good.
That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, it's cool. Guys, we'll wrap it on that. Go follow Michael out of socials.
Yeah, follow him now before it becomes like a really super big deal.
Oh my goodness.
So you can say I knew him before he was a pro.
Is he actually going to make YouTube videos? Because you told me a couple times that you're going to.
You know, I would love to.
He does make YouTube videos. He holds my camera a lot.
Yeah,
Like, hey, hold this camera, point it this way.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
yeah.
I could.
So now, are you? Do you have? We've talked about it a little bit. Are you going to try to do some ASAs? Since we had that discussion.
Yeah, I mean, if I can work it out for time and financially, you know, it's one thing to just say I want to go shoot a bunch of shoots, you know, and compete, which I love to compete, and if I could compete every single weekend, I totally would. But it's another thing to, you know, fly across the country, and that
plane
takes
ticket.
Yeah, it takes time off.
Lodging.
First of all, like even though I already have some, you know, those weekend days off, it still takes time off during the week to get there and get back.
Yeah, I mean, I think they start on do they start on Fridays or Thursdays? I know
Thursdays, I think.
Yeah, so if they start on a Thursday, that means you're at the shortest time you're traveling on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So it means Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, flying back on Monday.
Yeah.
Sass, you're missing a lot of time.
So
Yeah.
what's on your calendar for this year? Or what are you going to do for sure, and what are you hoping to do?
We'll see. For sure, I'll hit some local stuff around here because it's not too far out of the way.
Buffalo Ranch.
Buffalo Ranch.
Don't have to take time off from work to do
Don't
it.
have to take time off from work.
Don't have to look at Justin and go,
yeah.
but pretty please.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty please.
Definitely.
Because at the end
top
of the
10.
way,
Sorry,
at
go
the
ahead.
end of the day, it's not actually up to me. It's up to him.
Right.
Because
He's
you
a
work for
manager,
him.
dude. You don't even do anything.
He works for me.
He's
You
the
work for
cheese,
him.
dude. He's a tyrant.
Josh just runs around the shop. Justin's the one actually doing anything.
Yeah.
Oh, I just run around the shop doing circles about do nothing.
Yeah. No, you just run around the shop constantly like, hello, I'd like to order. And that's, yeah. But he does good. He's a really good job at it. And then he comes cheers us on sometimes or slaps us when we're doing something stupid. Yeah. It's good. But
I run the morale department.
oh yeah. He makes sure we're having fun.
He's HR.
I am. I'm HR.
Yeah.
Come see me if I said something inappropriate.
Praise God.
Because I guarantee I probably did. And that is the other phrase you will know Michael for.
Yeah.
Praise
God.
Yep.
I've been saying that a lot in the last week, and it's all your fault.
Yep. I got it from
I know
Brian.
it's Brian's.
Justin
I know.
got it from Brian. Yeah. But
Yeah.
so for calendar, I mean, top pin, of course. I love top pin. I'm going to try to do some Northwest Mountain Challenge stuff just because it pays out relatively well. Like most of the local stuff doesn't really pay. I mean, even if you're doing a money shoot on a Saturday or whatever for some of the, you know, Triple Crown stuff around here, the most you're going to win is maybe $250. And then your entry for that already is like 75 or 100. So it's
Yeah,
like,
what's the point?
yeah, exactly. But I mean, top pin I don't know exactly what it pays out for first place. I'm sure it's completely dependent on how many people sign up. But I mean, second place, I still got over 1,000, which was really cool. I didn't expect that much at all. And then I think Northwest Mountain Challenge has $1,000 checks every day they shoot off for, or something like that. It's like top 5 scores shoot off every day for, I think it's 1,000. And
Reading?
I'd like to do Reading. We'll see if it ends up working out.
Yeah.
You got to talk to your boss first.
I know. I got to talk to both of my bosses. It's my birthday weekend too, so maybe you guys should
Man.
let me do that.
Guilt.
But,
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Do you hear that, Justin? He's guilting you already.
I'm guilt tripping,
It's
dude.
February. And he's guilting you about
Oh,
May.
You just need an assistant to the regional manager.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
yeah. I'll definitely I'll shoot some safaris around here. There's more safaris coming up, which I think that's the same format as Reading. I
Yeah.
really like the safari stuff. I only tried it this last year and only did like
good
one or
prep.
two.
I think
of
I
them.
would like Safari as well. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good format.
yeah.
Single dot, big dots. Yeah.
It's single dot,
Hit or
shoot
don't
2
hit,
arrows.
you know?
Yeah,
Kind
Yeah.
of binary.
it's a lot of fun, and the teams works really well as well. So I only shot like one safari last year, and I did all right at it. But I'd say definitely, I'm very excited for this outdoor season and all the stuff coming up. Which, I mean, I'm gonna shoot more stuff than I just said. I only said like 3 things, but I'm excited because I feel like I've got my mental game in a really good spot from shooting indoor, and I feel like my execution is really good. So if I can just get back to aiming good, like it kind of does the thing for me where when I'm outdoors all year and then I come indoors, I aim really, really good, and then my execution is like, and then by the time indoors is over, my aim is like pretty good, and then my execution is like great.
You'll be okay, dude. We just went and ripped some fat arrows from like 90 yards, and your arrows were basically touching all those hitting X's pays off when you go out to the 3D
Michael's
range.
pretty good at archery.
He's very good at it.
Yeah.
And,
try. I try.
Yeah, let's wrap it at that. Go give Michael a follow on the socials. Operation Washout Karen's bad review. How's that going, Josh?
Pretty dope. Yeah, they're crushing Karen.
It's going
That
very well.
bitch.
You guys are crushing Karen. So leave us a review. Subscribe to us wherever you're listening. Buy your archery goods if you're looking for it from podiumarcher.com. I have a discount code. It's Tim C. That'll help you save some money. Any other plugs? You plug in any small businesses, anything like that?
Pretty sure
No.
he said Matt, the title's the best bow possible. So there you go.
Yeah, I already said that.
Yeah, you already said that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think I don't even remember what my Instagram is. I think
What's the
it's like-
Vegas odds that I take you
How do
down
you
at the
not
bow
I think
know
it's
what your
launch?
Instagram
Michael. I think
is?
it's Michael Allman _Archer. What's that?
So
Hold on,
what's the
we need
Vegas
that on
odds?
here,
What's
guys.
the Vegas odds I take Michael down at the Buffalo
Oh, there you
Range?
are, Michael Allman.
Not
That's-
very high.
Yeah. Oh, it's
One-
Michael
I-
Allman
50 to 1?
_Archer.
Yeah. Michael Allman _Archer.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's important.
we'll have a link down below and give it
Yeah.
a click.
Give
You
him
can
follow
just one click, go follow him,
Bison
and
Range, dude.
he's gonna have
before he's too big of a deal.
he's gonna have an amazing archery journey, and he's
We are still early, dude.
He's a good
I got
guy,
a long ways
yeah.
to go. So
Of course
we
you
have
do.
a lot of fun shooting together, kicking it, cracking jokes, and archery's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Archery's cool.
Just not inappropriate jokes.
Shoot your
he turns
bow.
red.
Yeah,
Shoot your bow and enjoy it, man.
yeah. Go shoot your bow.
That's the goal.
Yep.
Peace.